How do the 16 personalities make decisions differently? This was a question brought up very astutely by a commenter, and I hope to answer it astutely as well. When we're talking about decision making in the 16 personalities, we're really focusing in on thinking and feeling. Those are the decision-making functions, but it's not that simple because there are two different kinds of thinking and two different kinds of feeling, but don't freak out. It's not as complicated as it sounds. We're gonna walk through it. Let's start with the thinkers. Thinking is about what works, what gets results, what's logical, what makes sense. And there's two types of thinking, introverted thinking and extroverted thinking. So let's go over both of those. Introverted thinking is generally preferred by the TP types, the toilet paper types. No, I'm kidding. You know, like INTPs, ESTPs. Introverted thinking is not just let's do what's logical, but let's do what's logical to me. When a function like thinking is introverted, because we're talking about cognitive functions here. We're getting a little bit into the advanced personality theory. When it's introverted, it's subjective, and it's like, I've gotta own this. So for an introverted thinker, they feel like they have to own the logic, like every part of it. It's gotta make sense to them. It doesn't matter if a bunch of other people say, trust us, it makes sense, it gets results, this is the right way to do this. This is what everyone agrees is logical. The introverted thinker is like, okay, that's cool. I need to understand it now in order for me to sign off on this. The introverted thinkers are like, I am the final arbiter of logic and truth here. Extroverted thinking, on the other hand, which is generally preferred by the TJ types. So extroverted thinkers don't need to own the logic for themselves. When a function is extroverted, it is objective. So it's like, what is logical? What's gonna get results? I don't care if I necessarily understand the logic of it or that I came up with the idea, or maybe even that I disagree with it. I mean, extroverted thinkers will disagree with stuff, but they're much quicker to come around to change their mind because they're like, oh, actually, I see that works and we're getting results here. Let's go with this. The introverted thinkers perhaps take a bit more time because they really want to grasp what they're doing. And while we're here, if you're enjoying this video, hit the thumbs up button. So then we move over to feeling. So thinking is about what works, what makes sense. Feeling is about how do we value something? Is it good or bad? How do we feel about it? What kind of emotions does it bring up within us? That's how we're gonna judge it. That's how we're gonna make our decision. So let's start talking about the introverted feelers, which are the FP types. So the introverted feelers, much like the introverted thinkers, they're judging things in a way where they have to be the final arbiter of it. They have to be the one who fully grasps what's going on. And for feeling, it's they want to know, what do I like, what do I think is good or bad, and they're judging things off of that. They're not looking out to see how do other people feel about it, what do other people value about this. It's like, no, I've got to own the value of it. To me, I've got to actually value it. Extroverted feelers, on the other hand, which are the FJ types, they are, much like the extroverted thinkers, not so much needing to own the feeling, and it's not so subjective to them, it's objective feeling. So it's like, how does everyone else feel about this? Does everyone else feel happy about this? Do they like it? Does everyone else say this is good? The extroverted feelers are looking for a spectrum of how does everyone feel about this thing, and we make decisions based off of what's going to make everyone happy, or what's going to bring everyone to the feeling state that we want them to be at, which generally is, you know, positive. So you can see there's some similarities here between, for instance, extroverted thinkers and extroverted feelers. It's like, we don't have to own it for ourselves. How do we just get where we want to be? The introverted feelers and thinkers, though, they have to be the ones who are making the decision. It's their inner compass that's figuring out which way do we go. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, check out this video over here. Yeah.